Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So, Derrick Rose announced he's retiring from the NBA after 16 seasons, 16 years, of great basketball and injuries, ups and downs. The man is finally calling a quit. And it's a bittersweet situation. I'm not the biggest Derrick Rose fan per se, but when he came to New York and he played for the Knicks with Melo, I really appreciated him. He came to New York and he was like, you know what? I want to help Melo win a championship. That's what he said out of his own mouth. He was willing to take the back seat and play Robin to Melo's Batman. And that told me this dude was very humble. It's unfortunate, man, that he's retiring. Had a long career, riddled with injuries. In 1998, MJ retired, right? They won the championship. MJ retired. And the Chicago Bulls, they had a drought. For a hot minute, there was a drought. They had a really drought for a decade plus. And then, they drafted Derrick Rose and their fortune changed. He won the Rookie of the Year. And he was just a shining light for Chicago, man. And for the NBA for that matter. But eventually, because his game is so, he's so athletic. His game is so high flying. All that wear and tear jumping off the ground. Because he is a leaper. Prior to being injured, Derrick Rose, he is a leaper. Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose. They're in the same conversation as far as athletic abilities. And, he got injured and then everything changed. At the time when he got injured, nobody thought, okay, this is going to be career ending or it's going to change his career, but it did. That one injury changed the entire trajectory of his career and what he would have became. And it's just unfortunate, man. He was destined for greatness. If you saw Derrick Rose, you knew this kid was destined for greatness. But injuries, it's a part of the game. It happened and he just haven't been the same. And after, battling multiple injuries and just life issues and turmoils, he finally decided to call a quit after 16 seasons in the NBA. And it's a bittersweet situation. And I hate that what if. I really hate what ifs, especially when it's because of injuries. The same situation happened to Brandon Roy. Portland, Brandon Roy, he got injured and the man had to retire. And I hate that, man. What if this, what if that? Because we saw the trajectory. We knew what Derrick Rose would have been if not for injury. We knew what he would have became. This man would have been a Hall of Famer, no argument. I mean, who knows? He might still get in regardless. But prior to injury, Derrick Rose was a certified Hall of Famer as far as he was on that trajectory. Through the years, man, it's just, it's been a lot. Frustration, and I understand. Eventually, it's like, you know what? I've given all I could give. I enjoyed the game I love, which provided for me and my family. I got to play the game I enjoyed and love. It's time I step away. And I could imagine all the Derrick Rose fans who love this guy. It's like, man, but that's just the way it works. You won't be young forever. And eventually there comes a point you just have to lay it up. You got to hang up your jersey. Unfortunately, this is the time for Derrick Rose. So he announced his retirement. This is the end. No more basketball on a professional NBA level. And we all saw it coming, especially the last couple of years. You saw it coming. He was in New York prior to going to Memphis, playing for Tom Thibodeau, that's his coach from Chicago. And he was on the bench. He was on the bench for a while. Then they traded him to Memphis because they needed a point guard because Ja Morant, his situation, the gun cases and all the nonsense he was doing. That never worked out. They missed the playoffs. And Ja Morant is returning, so it's like he knew I'm not going to play that much, if at all, when Ja Morant returned. And he probably just had enough. Like, you know what? It's time. You know when it's time. Nobody could tell you when it's time. Your body tells you, your mind tells you, and you know when it's time. So after 16 seasons, great basketball, at one point he was going at LeBron. The Bulls in Miami was a real thing. When LeBron went to Miami to join D-Wade and Chris Bosh, They had that big three super team thing going on. Derrick Rose, he was in their way. Like, once he came of age, they had that rivalry for a minute. And Chicago had a team over there. They actually had a real good team. They had Joakim Noah, D Rose, Luol Deng, Gibson, and they were well coached. So that whole situation is like what could have been if not for injuries. And eventually they got Jimmy Butler. Imagine if Derrick Rose wasn't injured and they had Jimmy Butler with that whole core and the system they had. They could have possibly won a championship. But injuries snuck in like the Grim Reaper. Once again, it's a bittersweet situation, but he has given us a lot of great memories. And that Miami Chicago rivalry, that was something special. Best wishes to D Rose on all his other adventures and endeavors. We're going to see what happens moving forward. The last of the point guards is Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and their time is also coming. It's a bittersweet situation in the NBA. You could say it's a changing of the guards, basically. The new is coming in, and all the older point guards, they're going out. LeBron is soon out of here. Kevin Durant, he's almost out of here as well. Melo retired already. D Wade been retired. Yeah, it's definitely a bittersweet one, man. We have a lot of love for him. But as always, I holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.